Well, the question I love to ask everyone at the start of the podcast is, we had a good start, I think, to 2024. High season was good. I think we're starting to see a little bit of a return to seasonality. Markets in the US are starting to softening a little bit. But I mean, what are you seeing happening here in Costa Rica?
Well, yeah, I've told a lot of people that I believe that the party's over. That doesn't mean, that doesn't mean that we're descending into darkness, but I think the post-COVID party that Costa Rica felt, and it sounds like a jerk thing to say when so many countries around us are still suffering a pandemic to this point. But we had such a boom after pandemic that, yeah, we've been in a 3-year situation where every month beats the previous month.
Yep.
And I believe that that has stopped. Probably sometime around April, it took the downswing. And what I'm seeing, and what a lot of my colleagues are seeing, even the most successful hotels are seeing slight differences. We're seeing dailies that are low.
Yep.
Selling for the future. That's not where it should be, or not where it was expected to be. I don't think many budgets are being respected.
Yep.
I think that it's definitely, but again, numbers are good. Costa Rica is not, going through, not yet through any type of crisis. It's still growing.
Yeah, I mean, I like to refer it to we've returned to pre-COVID seasonality, just the tide is higher.
I agree with you completely.
And we knew this was going to happen. I think that my concern is people that don't understand that that's where we are, or that invested over the last previous 6 months or 12 months in thinking that that's going to continue, and have made some faux pas, because that's where it could be very difficult.
Well, even though we had clarity that things were going to slow down a little bit, we've invested heavily very recently.
Yeah.
I think we all believe in Costa Rica. I do think we have to be conscious and careful.
Yeah.
And also for the sake of the country. We love this country. We don't want to, I mean, the last thing I want to see for Costa Rica, which is already happening in a lot of towns, especially beach towns, is to see another Tulum. I don't know if I can say that on a podcast, but
yeah, 100%.
A shit show. And there's a lot of places like that. Over tourism is now like a very common word.
Yeah.
And it's affecting the whole world. I don't want to see that for Costa Rica more than it has already occurred.
Yeah, I would like to think that Costa Rica has a natural filter, and I say it's more kind of bureaucracy for it not being overdeveloped, if that makes sense, because it's not easy to do stuff here.
Listen, we've spoken before, and I've told you how much the government is a rock in my shoe. And there's so many of us, mid-level developers that are not huge and not tiny, that are often complaining about the government. But by the same token, this is the same government that, through whatever you want to call it, definitely bureaucracy's in the mix, but the formula is complicated, and that's part of the difficulty and the filter that you mentioned.
Correct.
That keeps this country green. It's not just, hey, we decided to have 25 or 30% of our land protected. We also made a crazy amount of laws and processes for permitting that are helping keep the country green.
Yeah, I mean, if it was easy, this country would be overdeveloped. Like it would be, and some people may even say it is overdeveloped in some areas, and maybe that is true, but yeah, it's not easy to make a quick buck in this country if you do not know what you're doing.
Yep. This is something that I think people that are coming to Costa Rica to kind of test the waters out feel that.
Yeah.
I don't think we've progressed past the point where, a lot of Europeans or Americans were coming in and losing their shirt. Yeah. There was a whole term coined in the book and all that. And they were coming here and they were just having a bad time. But now I think, it's common knowledge that you got to be well connected, and you got to know your stuff.
Yep. 100%. So